Hello, in these few short tutorials I will show you how to set up the data entry system. The data entry system uses a front end, that is the web interface, to insert the data into your database. What we will need to do is to create the data representation on our client by specifying which tables we want to work with and which fields do we want to modify. For the purposes of this demo, I selected the person table from my database. I can see that these are the fields of the database table. These are their types, and these are showing me which is the primary key and which fields can be empty and which cannot. So let's start. I click on admin, and from the 5 tabs I make sure that I'm on the first tab called tables. I create a new person table where I specify what is the data type of the ID field. The ID field in this case is a person code, which is of a character type. The character type in our system is represented by string. The numeric type would be specified by number. The name of the ID field is person code. Now it's time to set up the fields of the table. I click on the root, that is the root of my so-called schema of the table, and I click on add a new field. In this case it will be my primary key, which is person code. I know that this field must always be specified, it cannot be null. That's why we will enable a check on the client specifying that this field is required. Now let's enter a new field called person code. Sorry, it's a person name. There we go. And it's time to check also the type of the field. This table is quite simple because all the fields are of textual type, but here I can change the type of the field as well. I can see that we have several different options. The fields that you will be mostly using are string types, number types, and Boolean types. Those are the true false fields. When I change the type of the field, I can also see that this icon changes, and also the possibilities of validations. So let's switch back the person name to a string, and let's check out the possible validations. Here I can see that I can specify a validations as a specific format, for example, date time field, email field, ISO date time field, or I can specify that this field has to have at least minimum size. Let's say it has to be at least 5 characters long. I can specify a regular expression pattern. This is a little bit more advanced. And I can specify a custom message when this field is of an incorrect value. Let's specify a couple other fields. In this case, it will be super book code. This is kind of made up field in which this will represent a foreign key specifying the book that this person has written. So in my silly database table, person can write only one book. Let's just, for the purpose of the demonstration, change the type to number field and check out the validations. You can see that those validations have changed. Now I can specify the minimum and maximum range of the value. I can specify the exclusive minimum maximum range, that the value has to be a multiple of a specific value, such as 2. If I specify 2, it can be 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. And again, other fields such as the custom message and the value has to be required. So let's switch it back to a string, and let's add a couple more fields such as sex. And I also can specify a title. In here, for sex, I can specify also some enumerations, such as that I will only accept enumeration of a male, female, and then let's also go for unspecified. Let's go for other. And I will not specify the other table. I think these are enough for the purposes of our demo. So thank you for your attention, and we'll switch to queries and views in our next tutorial.